Troubles you will avoid by engaging in the list building exercise. Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Walking with Randy, where we talk about writing, speaking, coaching or course building, marketing, and marriage. Today we're talking about marriage again, and talking about another aspect of the idea of building a list that will help you to meet each other's needs within your marriage. We talked about some benefits that would come about from that process, but I want you to realize that this will also help you to avoid certain troubles in your marriage. One of the first trouble that this will help you to avoid is the often false idea of thinking that your mate does not care about you at all. Whenever you both get involved in the list, help you to see, well, if they're willing to do that, at least they care. If they're willing to do that, at least they care enough to be getting involved in that project. Whenever you see that they are willing to do that, then that will encourage you along that line. And whenever you see that they are making at least an attempt, once you get these lists built out, it will be an attempt to make some sort of change in your marriage that your mate had not attempted to do before. So just the process of seeing your mate attempting to work on this project, along with you working on it, shows that you do care about each other. So you will avoid the feeling that your mate does not care about you at all. Then you will avoid the dangerous situation of looking for someone else to fulfill your unmet needs in your life. When you have certain needs that are unmet, then you have an emptiness inside. You have a discouragement, and others can see that discouragement within your life. And sometimes they just want to encourage you, but sometimes they will come along and flatter you. See, whenever you do not work with each other, some couples have the privilege of being able to have their work revolving around each other. But many go their separate ways in the workforce, and they come around other people. And we generally have things that are in our work lives that we are good about. So when we have others that recognize what we are good at doing, and they come along and they give us encouraging words, that helps us to feel better. And then we just have that emptiness of the unmet need within our lives. And so we look for something to come along and help that need to be met. And if someone flatters us and engages in flattery, then that makes us feel good. Now, sometimes we are wise enough to know that is just flattery. And that's good if you realize that. But focusing, though, upon a list of needs that you come up with or that your mate comes up with, and you are both focusing on that, that keeps you from looking for someone else to come in and to help you feel better in those unmet needs. So you have the discouragement, you have the flattery that makes you feel good, and then when you want to feel better, you start looking for those encouraging words, and you may start looking for someone to come and to help you relieve the stress that you have. But if you and your husband or wife are engaged in a project where both of you are working on the project and giving it an honest attempt, then it will help you to avoid looking for someone else to come and meet that need within your life. The third trouble it will help you to avoid is that of just simply drifting apart. I know of a couple that seemed to be very happy in the early years of their marriage, and they had 3 children. They did a good job of raising those children, and those children were of integrity. They did work in different areas. They were good at their jobs, but they came to a point to where they just drifted apart. Whenever they were talking with a counselor, whether it was a marriage counselor or whether it was someone who was helping them to get a divorce, the person said, "I've never seen a couple like you, because neither one of you speaks bad of the other one. You just have recognized that you have just drifted apart." Well, whenever you are engaged in a project such as this list building project that we're going to talk about in the next video, then you are both focusing on something that has the prospect of helping your marriage. That means that you realize that your spouse does care, and your spouse is making an attempt, and so that's encouraging. That will help you to avoid thinking that your spouse just does not care at all. And then whenever both of you are focusing upon this, then you are both trying, and that removes the hopelessness, and that removes the temptation for you to look for someone else to meet your needs. Then we have the situation of simply drifting apart and focusing upon a project like this, which helps you discover what your husband's needs are and the ranking order of those needs, or you as a husband discover what your wife's needs are. And these may give you some surprises, and they may give you something else to work upon in your marriage. And the attempts to meet those needs, however large or however small, will have the benefits of you realizing that your mate does care. It will have the benefit of you looking somewhere else to get those needs met, because you see that your husband or wife is willing to work in that area. And then the fact that both of you are focused upon the same thing causes you to be working together rather than drifting apart. So those are some of the troubles that you will avoid by going through the list building process, which has to do with the felt needs within your life. Well, I hope this video has been helpful to you. And if you would like more tips like these on marriage, just go to randycarney.com, look at the top of the page, and click on the link that says marriage, the tab that says marriage, and that will take you to more blog posts that has information like this in it. Also, if you go to amazon.com, you can find a couple of books on marriage that I have written. And one of them has to do with how the principle of leaving will benefit your marriage. And the other one has to do with how the principle of being committed to overcoming will benefit your marriage. 2 more books that are in the works is one that has to do with valuing your spouse, and another one is developing that physical and spiritual intimacy in marriage. And then this book that will come later as a result of these blog posts, and these blog posts are a foundation for it, has to do with needs meeting each other's needs in your marriage. Well, again, I hope this has been helpful to you. And until next time, for Walking with Randy, I'm Randy Carney, wishing you the best in your marriage.